Tim, can you believe we celebrate our 11-year anniversary this year?
I know, right? And we know that God got many more years in store for us. But can y'all believe that we got married only 25 days after we first met? Hello, my name is Timothy Davis.
And my name is Lavonica Davis. And we're so happy to be able to share with you all our story. And that's our love story, how God had divinely put us together. And we're just compelled to share it with the world. We think it's time. Matter of fact, it's overdue to tell you our story because God is still authoring love stories. And we want to give people hope. Even people that done been through divorce and things like that, that God still have a special person for you. And so we just ask you, just take a few minutes, get you a cup of coffee if you need to, and we just go on a journey back with us to tell you about how God divinely put us together.
So this is how it all got started, right? New to Facebook, got introduced to Facebook from my cousin. Just got on there just to check everything out and didn't know a lot about it. So when I got on there, I got friend requests from one of my former roommates from Job Corps. And during that time, I was able to get other friends' suggestions from his friend. All of this is new to me, y'all. So during that process of doing that, I gained other friends, and one of the friends was her sister, Tawana. So during that process, I saw her picture on there, and so I had to message her.
So y'all, it was just so funny because I never forget, it was on a Sunday, and Tawana said, "Do you know this guy named Tim Davis?" And I was like, And so she's like, "He sent me a friend request," and she said, "No." And she had went and liked all his pictures, and so then she's like, "Wait a second. He's liking all your pictures on my page." She's like, "I'm taking my likes back from him." So I thought that was funny. Next thing I know, Tim is sending me a request for a friendship. And so I accepted it, and it was nothing romantic or anything like that. Now I did go view his profile and his posts. Didn't have that many pictures, and I just nothing romantic. So like, oh, okay, just another friend. That's all I seen it as.
So the message that I sent y'all was, "Hey." She replied back, said, "Hey, do I supposed to know you?" And it was kind of a little back and forth like that.
And the exact day was February 24th, 2013. And so he had sent me, he went in my DMs. He slid in my DMs. And he put on there like, "Hey," and I was like, no, I got the friend request, but I was like, I don't know him now. And I just messaged him back and was like, "Hey, do I supposed to know you?" And like I said, I had a lot going on in my life. I was I ain't gonna say newly divorced. I've been divorced for a year then. I had 3 girls, and basically I was living with my mom, went back home, living with my mom and dad, my sister, her family's there, my niece, she's pregnant. So it's kind of a little chaotic. So my life was not set up. Then on top of that, I call myself in a long distance relationship with somebody. I'm saved, confused, frustrated. So just imagine trying to add another person to my life. So when he sent the message, I definitely was not on board with it. So I had just like, "Hey, do I supposed to know you or something?" And that was kind of like the end of that part.
You know, I was on the opposite end of the state, just going through similar the same thing. Just got out of a divorce for about a year, and also had 2 young men that I was raising. During that particular time, I didn't know her situation. She didn't know mine. But I just wanted to try something new. But it was outside of my character to message someone on Facebook. Like I said earlier, I was new to it. It was something special about her that was drawing me to her. So when I spoke to her and just said, "Hey," she texted me back and said, "Hey, do I supposed to know you?" So actually that wasn't what I was looking for. That wasn't the response that I was looking for. So at that particular time, I was really just trying to give her my phone number, because where I was located at, the Wi-Fi was acting up. I was out in the country part. And during that time, I was constantly going up to like where I can have service to be able to contact her. And so I wanted to give her my phone number, but she was really, I believe, playing hard to get, because it took a little while for she actually responded back.
Yeah, Tim, you know I always play hard to get. You know how today's time, life was lifing for me. I had a lot going on, as they say. And that's the only reason why that I didn't respond to Tim, because I knew that I had a lot going on in my life and I didn't have time for extra. So he was messaging, DMing me and saying, hey, how you doing? Could we exchange numbers? I was like, in my mind, I was like, no, no, I'm not. And he would send his number, like, could you message me? And it was so funny when we finally got together. He told the reason why he was pushing for me to get his text message because of his Wi-Fi. So I thought that was kind of funny. Time had passed by, and I believe it's March the 10th, y'all. It was March the 10th, 2013. And so I attended church, believe in prophecy, the Trinity, the full 9 yards. And so one of the men of God had prophesied to my life and said that something that I'm about to do, God is about to make me happy, that I'm about to make a decision that everybody's not going to understand. Well, me being where I was, like I said, I had a long distance relationship with someone, and so I had decided that I was going to take my girls, I was going to marry this man, and that I was moving to Dallas, Texas. And so I thought maybe that's what he was talking about. And then I was like, yeah, so on the March the 10th, I decided when Tim had texted me, he DM'd me to ask for the number. I decided I was going to DM him back and tell him I was getting ready to move to Dallas so he can say, like, leave me alone, like this is the end of it. But I ended up deciding to text him. I said, I'm going to text him and tell him that. So I texted him, told him that I was getting ready to move to Dallas. I never shared with him that I was in a long distance relationship with anyone. I just say, hey, I'm getting ready to move to Dallas. And I text him that, and y'all, that's where we started texting each other from there.
She texted me back finally, and she's talking about moving to Dallas. So I had to step my game up a little bit, and that's how I was able to get to know her. I was able to ask her the questions that I really desired to know, like how many kids she have, a little bit more about her past, different things like that. That's how we was able to communicate and being able to let her know that I was praying for her every morning and different things like that.
And y'all, this man I have to be at work at 6 o'clock in the morning, so he was texting me early that morning to make sure. He was like, good morning, hope you have a good day at work. And he's like, I'm praying for you. Y'all, my heart was just melting. And then just to inject in there my so-called long distance boyfriend at the time, he was texting me just once a day. So it was basically just that relationship was wrapping up. And so Tim is just like I said, it wasn't just long drawn out paragraph. It's just the sincerity. You can hear, I could see in the text message how sincere he was. So he just wasn't running game on me, but I can just feel like this man really cared about me. And so I'm replying to him as well. I'm just like, I'm text back, I'm having thank you so much. I'll be praying for you too, and things like that. So now I'm at a crossroad in my life. I'm on my job, and here it is. I'll never forget, it's a Thursday evening, and I work in a factory, so I'm standing up. So when you're working in a factory, just for those who don't understand, I'm working with my hands, so my mind is free the whole time. So I'm working with my hands, and I have time to talk to God and trying to get my life back on track and things like that. And I knew that it was time for me to make a change, and I was just so tired of my situation. So I decided to pray to God, just give up everything. I really sincerely, just in my mind, my spirit, every part of me, my spirit, my mind, my body, I gave up and said, God, let your will be done in my life. Not too long after I said that, I heard the Lord speak to me, but not verbally, but just in my spirit. And he said, I'll never forget these words, said, you're about to miss out on something great. Tim, that is. I really believe that he said Tim's name specifically, so I would be confused about it. And then immediately after that thought, I said, I need to end it with my long distance boyfriend at the time. And I said, as soon as I begin to get home, I'm going to break up with him. That's going to be the end of it. And no question, no second thought, no, I got to go get some advice about this. I knew that no matter what happened with Tim and I, that I was going to end that relationship. So I decided to ask God to just really making sure I wanted to sign. And so I asked God, and I said, God, if Tim is the man for me, let him call me today. Mind you all that we've only been texting. And as soon as I said that, I was like, my phone dead. I went around, I started asking people for a charger. I kid you not, everybody's had a charger every day, but this particular time, nobody had a charger. So my phone was dead the whole time while I was at work. I said when I get home that I was gonna break over Chris, put my phone on charger, and that's exactly what I did. I got home, put my phone on charger, and I ended up texting him and telling him, breaking up with him. And y'all, the only thing he said was, "You're a piece of work." And that's the only rebuttal I got. So I literally was able to get out that situation with peace of mind. It was like, cool, yeah, we knew it was coming. And now the biggest thing, going back to what I asked God for the sign. So now I'm like, okay, when is he gonna call me?
I had prayed for this lady, and as I was praying, she had already shared her part about this. She had prayed that I called. So we both had asked God for a sign and asked her to allow me, would it be all right if I called her, and let her say yes. That was going to be the sign that I knew that she was the one. So once I texted her and asked her that, she had said yes.
We was in revival. I started getting ready for church, and then I got a text message first, and he's like, "Can I call you? I want to tell you something." And I was like a little second grader or something. Like, I was nervous, texting back. I was like, yes. And so then I'm getting prepared for her. He's about to call me.
And so I was like, well, like I said, I was a little nervous, but because that wasn't my character. But at the same time, I was excited about the journey that God has for us.
Now here we are on the phone. He called me, and I'm super excited. I'm nervous, and I'm just anticipating, like, man, I don't know what to expect. I'm just going with the flow in it, because God literally showed me the answer. And this was, who would have thought to even pray that? So he put on my heart to do it, and then for God to answer that prayer, I knew he was the man for me. There was no doubt about it after that, after the sign came through. And we're talking, and I'm still, I still had a revival to go to. And so I heard his voice for the first time, and oh my goodness. It was like this man, and what he asked me on, what he had to ask me on that call was basically, he told me the story. He's like, I'm ashamed to say this, but I've been praying for you today. And I said that if you're the woman for me, that you'll have time to talk to me. And then also he wanted to let me know that he was a minister in the church, and that I'll be okay with that. No, an elder in the church, and that I'll be okay with that. And I was fine with him being an elder in the church. And then, so from there, it's like we literally prayed the same prayer and for the same sign at the same time. So that's nobody but God.
And so when I first heard her voice when I called, I didn't really know what to expect. By just hearing her voice, it was a special feeling, because this is the person that I had been texting, or the person that I've been praying for, and I was able to hear her voice for the first time.
We stayed on the phone probably till 3-something that morning. It's about time for me to get ready for work. And it's like I've been knowing him for a lifetime. It was just, we just flowed with it. It was a piece with it. We flowed with it. And next thing I know, I get a call on Saturday morning, which I had to go to an event that evening. I got a phone call from him, and he was like, he wanted to meet me. I was not prepared for a meeting this early. I thought like we was gonna do this phone call for a while, talk on the phone, eventually meet each other, long drawn out thing. But he was like, no, I want to meet you.
When we decided to talk, I wanted to be able to meet her. And so I just asked her, hey, look, when could we be able to meet? And that Saturday came around, she had an event going on that Saturday. I actually had a youth day program going on that Saturday as well. So we both had things going on, but we made time for each other. So she had told me that she already had plans for that evening. Now look, she canceled her plans so we can be able to go on our first date. Now that was the best cancellation that she ever done. So when we went on our date, okay, I went to pick up my first time seeing her. She came to the door, and when I saw her, I was about speechless, okay? She looked exactly like how her picture did. You know how sometimes you can see pictures and things, some people call them catfishing, but she actually looked like her picture. This lady had a gift for me. She had some candy and everything for me on our first date. So that was something that I wasn't used to. So that actually surprised me.
When I seen this man for the first time, the first thing came out of my mouth, I was like, "You look younger than you did on your profile picture." And he like, "You want to see my license?" Because I was like, "How old are you?" But he was so sexy and handsome. I still to this day, I say my tall glass of chocolate mocha. But he was so handsome. I remember exactly what he had on: a black shirt, some black pants, and some black shoes. And he was a church shirt because he just came from a service.
We went to Bossier City for our first date. Now let me tell y'all something about this date. On the way there, we was talking, great conversation, great communication between both of us, really just talking about our past, talking about our future, talking about things that we like, dislike, do's and don'ts, and all of those things.
But the thing about going to the Bossier City is literally in another state. It's a touching state to Arkansas, but it's another state. And I was like, even going to Bossier, it wasn't a thought like, "Oh my goodness, whether he's a mass murderer taking me." It was like simple peace, like, okay, let's go and do it. And so when we had so much fun together during that date. I mean, as for the conversation that we had, like I said, we really wasn't playing games with each other. We divorcees, we have kids, so it was like really not playing games. That's what he's letting me know. He's like, I'm not here to play games. And it's like he loved his relationship with God, he loved his kids, he loved his mom, things like that.
And y'all, we was still at our date in Bossier City after 12 o'clock. Now, remind you, I gotta be at work at 6 o'clock in Hot Springs. That's a 3-hour drive. We still sitting in the restaurant. But I didn't want the night to end.
And I remember like it was yesterday on the way home, and we were getting close to my house. And all of a sudden, I had said that I loved him. First date. And y'all, I was like, "Oh, I didn't mean to say that." But when I look back on it, hindsight 2020, I realized what's in your heart. We use that analogy a lot of times when we say something bad, like what's in your heart is gonna come out. But it pertains to things that's good. It was in my heart. I literally had fallen in love with this man, and my mouth said what was in my heart. That I told him I love him. So I was like, I didn't mean to say that. And y'all, he was like, I think it took him by surprise for a second, but then I ain't gonna say eventually, he said it right away. He's like, he just took a pause. He's like, "I love you too."
And life began to happen. Now, this time began to go by very fast because we went on several dates with our kids. We allowed our kids to meet. We met each other's parents and things like that.
Now we're on this 25-day run. Did not plan it. We're just flowing with it, and life is great. I mean, I'm like floating. I'm on a cloud 9. I mean, life is just bright. The sun is brighter. I hear the birds singing. You know how it is when you find like true love. That's what I felt. And I remember, I just like to just kind of share this moment with y'all as well when I met his mom. And for the first time, and she on board, but kind of like she's realistic at the same time. She's like a woman of faith, but like, okay, wait, let's take a step back too. And I was like, here I go again. I was sitting in her kitchen, and I was like, I love him. And she's like, you don't even know him. Now we're getting closer to To be honest with you, I never got a proposal. It was just like we knew we was gonna get married. And we started talking about a date to get married. So we was trying to say, let's at least get to 30 days of us being married. After we met, let's wait 30 days. We didn't even make it to 30 days. We was like, okay, it's time now. So we ended up getting married on the 25th day after we met on that Saturday. So I was telling her, I was like, you really never proposed to me. So on that wedding day, he got on his knees and asked me to marry him. So that was my point. So you really owe me a really good proposal.
So that brings us to April the 10th, 2013. This is our wedding day. On this day, we at the church, and to see the woman that I'm truly in love with walk in and walk down that aisle to be there, it was amazing. It was amazing to be in that position. After 25 days, it seriously was a God thing. We give all the credit and glory to God for that. Like I said, it wasn't our character, but God is still authoring love stories.
On that day, on our wedding day, I was so at peace. I was not anxious or anything like that. I was happy to begin to have a new start with my husband to be. And as I was coming in, just seeing him standing up there like the stallion that he is.
So we hope y'all enjoyed our story about our journey to a beautiful love story. We just want to let you know that we give all glory and honor to God, that He is still authoring love stories. So no matter what your circumstances or your situation may be, could have been a divorce, could have been any other kind of challenges, just know that God is still authoring love stories.
And we wrote a book about it, and it's called Message Notification, Our Journey to a Beautiful Love Story. And it's gave you way more details. And if you'd like to purchase this book, you can go to www.timandlavonica.com, or also you can find it on Amazon. So we hopefully that you'll be able to learn a little more, be interested in purchasing our book. Until the next time, we got some more videos to come.